today's halftime highlights. Brought to you by Phillips Lighting.
Back in Portland, a look at some of the highlights during the course of the first half.
Well, Magic Johnson jumped out early, got 7 quick points, and basically because the defense was concerned about the perimeter and let the inside wide open. Defensively, the U.S. team was just outstanding, holding the 27% shooting. David Robinson with 3 block shots himself in that half. And then whether it was Michael Magic or Scottie Pippen that was in charge of running the show, they found open teammates and distributed the ball very well. Pippen leading the U.S. team in the first half with 5 assists.
And once again, the United States with a dominating half in terms of statistics. Look at the shooting, 68% on 27 out of 40, while Venezuela 12 for 45. They missed their first 10 shots from the field, and the U.S. with a 25-16 edge off the boards and went to town in turnovers, 14 points off the Venezuela turnovers. Right now, let's go over to Quinn Buckner. Become traditional now before every game against the U.S. Olympic team. They sit down and pose for a photo, something for the opposition to take home to the kids and the family.
How about this? You find this a little bit unusual at halftime rather than warming up. The Venezuelan guys have a little camera. They're running around asking the U.S. players, will you stand next to me and take a picture for my scrapbook once I get back home to Venezuela? Just a little bit different mentality.
A couple of members of the United States coaching staff mentioned that they know that they will be considered to be a serious opposition when a team comes into a game, and I'm sure it will happen in Barcelona, where we will not see the photo opportunities, where a team comes in and does not request a photo be taken.
Not quite the respect factor that these other teams have had so far for the U.S. team.
It is a 41-point lead as the second half gets underway, and a rare turnover by the United States. Estaba, Shepard with it. Shepard off the drive, and it's tipped home by Alexander Nelson. The United States opening with a front line of David Robinson, Karl Malone, and Chris Mullin. These are the starters. Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan in the backcourt. Here's Mullin. Chris Mullin, for the tournament, shooting 65%. He's averaging 15 points per game. He has 5 this afternoon. United States leading 69-28. Herrera off the dribble. Jordan for Robinson. He had the 3. He passed on it and gave it up.
Mark, that is the 56th dunk in this tournament for the United States team. If you total the other 9 teams and their dunks, they have a total of 56 also. So the U.S. team just tied the rest of the tournament teams in total dunks with that last one.
Gabriel Estaba hitting from long range. Here's Malone. Yes. So Karl Malone with 12 points, and the United States is up 73-31. Venezuelans are a pretty emotional bunch. They were beaten by Puerto Rico earlier this week, and Carl Herrera and Gabriel Estaba, friends since they were teenagers. Well, Shepard able to hit on the drive. But Herrera and Estaba got into it in the locker room. Estaba said they were accusing each other of not sharing the ball on the court. Jordan save for Robinson. And the argument escalated to the point that Herrera took a swing at Estaba, but missed, fortunately. Estaba said he left the room at the urging of the Venezuelan Federation officials, who apparently were on hand. Now everything is a bit cool between the two. They're trying to downplay it.
Evidently, the two of them had been very, very close friends years back, and then there was a split. Something had happened. They weren't speaking for a while. And what's happened is that fight, or near fight, has brought them back close together once again.
And they were able to come up with that huge upset over Brazil on Friday night. Olivares has been off, and we get the whistle for the foul.
At times, the U.S. team, it looks as if they have eyes behind their head. They just know where one another are, and then they finish by David Robinson.
Second foul committed by Estaba, so the United States gets it back. The U.S. has won 5 of 5 in this tournament. David Robinson not able to hit, and last touched by the United States, and a foul has been called. A push on Robinson. U.S. with wins over Cuba, Canada, Panama, Argentina, Puerto Rico Friday night. They knocked off Puerto Rico in the semifinals. Mullen with the save. Jordan setting up Malone. Malone thought he was fouled. Jordan with the steal. Backs to three-point territory and hits. Johnson with the steal for 3. Yes. So consecutive three-pointers on consecutive steals by Jordan and Johnson.
Magic wasn't going to let Michael get one up on him, so he just picks the ball off, pulls up, shoots a 3, knocks it down, a little high five from one another.
Estaba had the baseline closed by Malone. And he's stripped by Malone. 4 minutes gone by, second half. A look away from Magic for Robinson. And the United States now leads by 50. Estaba blocked by Jordan.
Well, after Michael picks it off, and then defensively, maybe the best in the league at coming from behind and blocking shots, Michael Jordan.
Well, Brazil knocked off Puerto Rico in the consolation game earlier today, 93-91, and the hope of basketball officials here was that it would be a Brazil-United States final. In particular, after Marcel de Sousa of Brazil had these strong statements to make, saying that he hopes that the NBA All-Pro, All-Universal team will play the best they can. He said they have not played their best. They're hiding. They're playing for fun. I wish we play them in the final or semifinal. And we asked Michael Jordan for his reaction.
If you don't like the way I prepare for a game, then, that's your tough luck. But, when I step on the basketball court, you got to deal with me. And that's going to be a motivational point for me in terms of what they've said about what I do to relax myself. Yeah, I'm going to be ready to play.
Well, I just want to tell the Brazilian team they are very fortunate that they did not wind up in the final, because this U.S. team was fired up to play Brazil. Speaking with each of the players, they had read the comments, did not like some of the things that were said, and you think this 50-point deficit's bad right now. It could have been worse against Brazil.
Yes, they were using it to rev up for should they go against Brazil in a championship game. David Robinson adds to the lead. It's 85-35. Marcel de Sousa said, if they are the dream team, we're the nightmare team. Their best, I want to see it. I want to say I play with the best American team. And he said that earlier in the week, they're not playing now, Jordan with golf, Pippen with the suntan. Jordan said, tell de Sousa that's Scottie Pippen's natural color. That's the only mild controversy during the course of the week here at the Tournament of the Americas. Turnover number 16 committed by Venezuela. 5.5 gone by in the second half. And the United States moving up on the possibility of largest differential. That was a three-point attempt by Mullen. Last Sunday, the United States knocked off Cuba by 79 in Olympic competition, the largest differential ever for the United States. They defeated Thailand 101-29 and 56. That was a 72-point margin, and as I said, they won by 79 over Cuba last Sunday. That's a 3 for Chris Mullen, who has been on fire from three-point land. The average margin of victory for the United States going into today's play, 52 points. Off the steal. from Robinson, and he was fouled by Shepard.
What's caused so many problems for the opposition against the United States team is that this U.S. team has had a tremendous ability to communicate defensively, switch and jump out into passing lanes. And it's almost as if the other teams don't expect it to happen, like they haven't seen it before. It's a common thing in the NBA that two guys screen, you switch, you stay in your areas, and it's a form of zone incorporated into the man-to-man defense.
And Mullen able to get inside. The United States leads 90-35. Estaba, it counts, and the foul.
David Robinson trying to figure out how can it be a foul on me when he's driving his left elbow into my chin and then knocking me to the floor. But David, forget it. It's a foul. He's going to shoot it, give him the points.
Second called on Robinson. Gabriel Estaba will go to the line looking for a three-point play. Well, 3 weeks from today, the United States Olympic team will make its Olympic debut in Barcelona, and you will see that game in its entirety. That'll be 4 o'clock, both Eastern and Pacific time here on NBC. It's 3 weeks from today. Mullen gets it right back out. Jordan attempting the three. Malone on the follow. 14 points for Karl Malone. Shepard. 8 points for Shepard.
Sam playing at his own tempo. Give me the ball, let me get it up the floor and get a shot off.
Sam Shepard at 39 is the oldest player in this 10-team tournament. It'll be Venezuela ball. He may emerge as the oldest player in the Olympics when his team gets to Barcelona. That is Shepard.
39 years old, 8% of body fat, not bad. Says it takes him a little longer now. It takes him 2 months to get himself ready to play this season. But then again, he averages 40 minutes a game when he plays in Venezuela.
From Jordan, rejected by Estaba. Herrera leads the break. Herrera had it knocked away, able to recover, finds Estaba. This is the best flow of the day for Venezuela. Sam Shepard admitted to us the other day that this whole situation for him at age 39 is kind of far-fetched. Sam has a 22-year-old daughter by the name of Gwendolyn. Here's Estaba. Well, Venezuela with a little burst here. So it cuts it to 92-46. 11 and a half remaining. Michael Jordan.
Michael wanted to know why there was no whistle. He thought he should have been on a free throw line.
Malone with the rebound. Magic pulls up for the three. Estaba for Herrera. Herrera with 8 points. Estaba is the high man with 13. Mullen. Easy penetration. We've seen that throughout the tournament. That began with the opening game of the United States against Cuba. Malone rejecting Shepard, who lands in the crowd. Robinson stripped. And Gonzalez pitches down to Shepard. Back for Gonzalez.
Well, Shepard started to think about taking it to the basket and then saw Karl Malone back there swimming. I'll pull up, but then at the last second found his teammate.
Chuck Daly getting set to make some changes now as we hit the halfway mark of this second half. Gonzalez knocking it away from Malone. Magic for three. And Herrera comes down with it. Pumps it down to Shepard. Well, Shepard off the fake. Jordan looking for the block. And the United States now leads 96-52. Robinson That's 14 for David Robinson of the San Antonio Spurs. David coming into this tournament, making it back from that surgically repaired thumb, undergoing surgery back in March. A rejection by Jordan. Malone. Rebound Malone. Yes, and the foul.
It's just a decision of which shot do you want to take, which one is better than the other, and sometimes it's hard to make a decision because they're so easy. But back a few moments ago, want to add one to the highlight film? Well, here it is. Michael Jordan, little body contact, and then he finds a way to get it up, around, and over the top of the rim.
Welcome back to Portland. I'm here right now with Mrs. Irvin Johnson Cookie and their new son, Irvin Johnson III. She's saying she can't believe he's sleeping through the game. Cookie, tell me, how's he been? You been able to rest?
A little bit. He's a very good baby. He sleeps about 2 to 3 hours a night.
Let me ask you, as Magic is going through this, what has been his impressions to you about how the trials have been going for him?
Oh, he's having a great time. He's really enjoying this, and it's like, being back in the NBA to him. It's a really, good feeling, and it's a good feeling for me to see him out there. It was like looking at old tape, the first game that I saw him, and see that big grin on his face. It made me feel really good.
Well, good. I want congratulations again on your newborn. Guys, that's it. This is his first official outing. Back to Marvin Mike.
All right, Quinn and Magic. 10 points, 6 assists. Chuck Daly making changes. Scottie Pippen returns, along with Charles Barkley, Christian Lee, Clyde Drexler, and Patrick Ewing. Charles Barkley took a blow to the back of his head the other night, knocked to the floor on a drive to the basket, suffered a cut to his scalp that required, it counts, and the foul. 1 stitch required. Charles did return for action in the second half. And, Mike, after the game, when he returned to the dressing room, as we take another look at that drive.
Carl Herrera with the reverse dunk.
When he returned to the dressing room, he found a bowling ball with a Band-Aid on it.
This is one cold group out here. They don't care who it is or what it is. You're going to find out and hear about it some way.
Charles said, no, that's funny. I like it. Good move. Scottie Pippen from Clyde Drexler. And the United States now leads 103-55.
I like what he said. I can take a joke.
8.5 remaining in the second half. Shepard with a nice pass. Alexander Nelchuk finished it off. Alexander Nelchuk attended Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania, earning a degree in economics. He's been a member of this Venezuelan national team the last couple of years. Barkley. So a friendly rim for Charles Barkley, and the United States leads 105-57. Drexler with the rejection.
Patrick Ewing almost blocked it with his back that time.
And a timeout has been called. We'll be back in Portland in a moment.
Today's game summary, brought to you by Converse.
Well, look at the United States shooting, 66%. They have hovered around the 70% mark right throughout the day. Venezuela, 37%, and they have actually picked up the shooting to reach 37%. U.S. with the edge off the boards, and they have been able to take advantage of the Venezuela turnover situation. 7:58 remaining in the second half, and the United States up by the score of 105-57. Marv Albert with the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello, along with Quinn Buckner from the Memorial Coliseum, the home of the NBA Portland Trailblazers. Capacity on hand, better than 13,000. And Clyde Drexler of the Blazers called for the hack on Herrera.
Second person.
Clyde Drexler coming into today shooting 70% in the tournament, 21 for 30 from the field, and has Only helped his percentage with the performance this afternoon, 6 for 7 for 15 points.
And Clyde was asked to sit out one of the games here this week. The same knee problem that he was encountering during the regular season, where, in fact, when Rick Adelman had the opportunity, he would rest Clyde, trying not to play him in back-to-back games or 3- and 4-night situations, deciding which one he was going to sit out because of the swelling that would take place in Clyde's knee. Well, with consecutive games here, the same type of thing happened, and it's going to be a concern of theirs as they move on to Barcelona.
And once again, Larry Bird has been sitting it out. That's a steal by Shepard. Try to set up. Last touch by Leitner. Larry with the bad back, which has affected his legs. He feels the nerve damage in his legs when his back acts up. Planning to fly to Boston tomorrow for treatment rather than his original plan of flying home to French Lick. But he said he hopes to be playing basketball by the end of next week.
Spoke to Larry before the game, and he said, actually, yesterday and today is the best that I've felt. I just didn't think there would be any reason to play him in this afternoon's game and cause further damage, obviously.
He is not looking forward to that long flight to Nice for the U.S. team's training in Monte Carlo. Barkley with 12, and the United States leads 107 to 59. Larry Bird has difficulty flying long periods of time without worrying about that back stiffening up. Carl Herrera, he has 15. 6:45 remaining in the game. United States on its way to making 6 out of 6 here in the Tournament of Americas. 3-on-1. Esteban takes it all the way and lost it. Shepard on the recovery, shoots for 3. U.S. 107 and Venezuela 64. Drexler for 3 points. And rebounded by Nelcha. Esteban fouled by Pippen.
A few moments ago at the offensive end for the United States, Leitner missing the jumper for the U.S., which have been crashing the boards for the entire week. Barkley just moves Patrick out of the way with his left arm, says, no, I need these 2 points, keep my average up there, and tips it in.
Like the Venezuela coach, Julio Toro, very candid about approaching this game and concerning the overall look of the United States Olympic team. He said you could actually put together an all-star team from all the other teams in this tournament, give us a 30-point lead and the ball, and we'd still lose by a good margin.
Well, it's not like they can hold it for the rest. There is this shot clock thing that you have to get it up there eventually, and he understands that this U.S. team has such great ability to make it happen defensively. Coach Toro, getting his background in coaching actually in Puerto Rico from the Puerto Rican League, and has worked with a number of United States coaches, many NBA coaches who used to go down to Puerto Rico and coach there during the summer.
Yes, he played on the national team of Puerto Rico. Then an assistant coach, Leitner, getting inside. And as you mentioned, Julio says he learned to coach from traveling violations. Some of the NBA coaches who spent time in the Puerto Rican Summer League, he named Phil Jackson and Doug Bowe, Jimmy Lynam, Jack Ramsey, Bernie Bickerstaff, Casey Jones. P.J. Carlissimo, the assistant for the United States team down there for many, many summers coaching in Puerto Rico. Ewing. And Gonzalez able to handle. Rustine Gonzalez, who was not shy about pumping up shots in the first half. He attempted 13. He was 5 of 13. This is Gonzalez with the ball. He's stopped and able to put it home on the recovery.
He's got the right idea. Somebody told him once, you can't score unless you shoot the basketball.
He has shot well in this tourney coming off the bench. He's just under 60%. He has 14 points this afternoon. The United States leads 109-67. Here's Shepard with Pippen back. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. It's one of those rare sequences where the shot clock for the U.S. is down under 10. It's a 3-on-2 for Venezuela. Shepard behind the back. Nicely done. Herrera able to finish it off.
Well, actually, it was one of the few times that the zone defense that Venezuela played gave the United States some problems. They didn't get in the seam as they had been doing. They could not find the guy along the baseline and dive the big man down to the basket. And then after recovering the basketball, Venezuela had numbers in their transition game.
Foul was committed by Rustin Gonzalez. The high man of the game for the United States, Karl Malone, with 17 points. Clyde Drexler with 15. David Robinson, 14. Chris Mullin with 12. That's a three-pointer. Charles Barkley. And Barkley now has 15. United States leads 112-73 as Estaba is able to hit.
And there's that point guard breaking down the U.S. defense that we had talked about earlier in the first half. Right now it's Scottie Pippen's job to guard that point guard. And with Stockton out, as Clyde misses the layup and Charles stays on the glass for the U.S. team, with Stockton out with the injured leg, the responsibility of trying to defend those smaller, quicker point guards falls to either Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, or Magic Johnson. That's an area of concern for Chuck and his staff.
John Stockton injured in the opening minute of the U.S. victory over Canada earlier this week. Nelcha scoring for Venezuela as John Stockton. Michael Jordan's knee bumping his leg. John felt the immediate pain. Leitner for three. Christian Leitner, the only collegian on the U.S. squad, has hit 6 of 9 for 14 points. Nelcha around Ewing and fouled by Leitner. 2:41 remaining. And the U.S. with a 117-75 lead. Couple of Olympic gold medalists, figure skater Christy Yamaguchi and speed skater Bonnie Blair behind Christy. On hand here at the Memorial Coliseum as we wind down in the Tournament of the Americas. And the crowd chanting for Larry Bird, but they will not see him in action because of that bad back. Well, Larry is tying the shoelaces and the jersey being taken off, and perhaps they will see him. Now, the other night, Larry gave the impression in the final minutes playing with the crowd that he would enter the ball game. We were told that he would not play today, but let's see what happens.
Well, in the huddle the other night, Larry started to pull off his warm-up as if he was walking into the huddle to report in with very little time left remaining in the game. The crowd went nuts, and he's getting up.
As Ewing hits, the crowd reacts to the entrance of Larry Bird, who will enter the game in the final minutes. Herrera connecting from the outside. The United States leading 119-78.
It would be interesting. Bird made the opening basket this week for the United States team, the first basket in the tournament for the United States. How about if he wound up taking the last shot?
Estaba colliding with Leitner, and Larry Bird had a brilliant shooting performance last Sunday. Here he comes. So Bird has come on for Barkley. He hit 7 of 8, 3 from downtown against Cuba on Sunday. Here's Bird looking for the 3, then gives to Leitner. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the game. Estaba. Rebound Pippen. The United States will try to set up Bird, who now remains in the backcourt. The U.S. leads 123-78. They've led by as many as 55 points. Patrick Ewing has 10. Herrera. That was deflected by Ewing. Ewing getting down court with Shepard back. And Ewing able to go glass. We approach 1 minute remaining in this tournament. Crowd would love to see Bird get a shot off. The chant for Larry Bird. Herrera on the follow. And the United States leads 125-80. Crowd anticipating as Bird handles and fires. Looked like Nelcha got a piece of it.
Well, Larry hustled down the floor on the right side, hoping that they would pitch ahead to him, and also hoped that the defense wouldn't run back to him, but Nelcha got the block.
Shepard had it knocked away. Here's Nelcha for three. Rebound, Estaba. We're down to 25 seconds to go in the game, and the U.S. will gain possession. And again, the anticipation for Bird. Bird on the drive. Missed the reverse. Hits the ball. This, of course, is not what Larry Bird had in mind to finish things up a la a Henry Finkel, but the crowd showing their great respect and admiration for one of the game's great players, Larry Bird.
And he immediately got a high five from Patrick Ewing, who the two of them this past week have become very close friends, the Harry and Larry combination.
0.6 of a second remaining.
I don't know where Patrick Ewing comes up with Harry, but...
So the United States has defeated Venezuela by the score of 127-80 in the championship game of the Tournament of the Americas here in Portland. It will be the United States, Venezuela, Brazil, and Puerto Rico all advancing from this tournament to the Olympics in Barcelona. 17 apiece for Malone and Barkley. Leitner had 16, Drexler 15, Robinson 14. Herrera leading Venezuela with 21. Let's go over to Quinn Buckner.
Hello, I'm here with Larry Bird. Larry, your back has been bothering you. You're shocked everybody came in and played. Obviously, you're feeling a little better.
Yeah, I do feel a lot better, and I didn't want to get hurt out here because I want to go to Barcelona. So I just stayed out everybody's way today.
I saw you weren't going for any rebounds. What are you going to do for your rehab?
So I'm going back to Boston tomorrow and get some therapy on it, rest this week, then hopefully next week I can start playing again and try to get in good shape and go from there.
Well, I'm sure everybody's pulling for you so you can bring the gold back to America.
We will. Thank you.
All right, Quinn, Larry Bird, with that brief stint, played the last couple of minutes and took 3 shots, hit 1. This is the drive along the baseline, went for the reverse, and then able to follow up and hit for his only score of the game. And that received this reaction from Magic Johnson. We'll be right back. Well, the United States shooting 62% from the field, defeating Venezuela to win the championship of the Tournament of the Americas by the score of 127-80. Another easy victory for the U.S. Olympic team. A look at today's Miller Genuine Draft play of the game.
Michael Jordan, who played many different roles here, scorer, assist man, defensive stopper at times, but always putting on a highlight show for the crowd. Michael Jordan with the play of the game.
Although for Michael, another low-key performance, his explosives not needed. He went 3 for 7 for 7 points. We'll be back in a moment.